13 days ago, I brought you the story that RC-135 Rivet Joint surveillance aircraft have been flying in Mexico, flying off the coast of Mexico, specifically through the Gulf of California. Yesterday, I brought you the story. War with cartels begins. U.S. Special Forces land in Mexico to train Mexican soldiers. The Mexican Senate Commission has approved the entry of members of the U.S. Army's 7th Special Forces Group into the country. And today, I bring you CIA MQ9 Reaper drones are covertly spying on Mexican drug cartels, report says. CIA drone flights over Mexico reportedly began under the Biden administration, but have greatly expanded under the Trump administration amid talk of direct action against the cartels. We can clearly see the escalation and ramping up of operations. You cannot have the things I just listed to you without there being intent. That intent at this point is very likely to pass that intelligence on to the Mexican authorities, specifically the troops that the Breen Berets are in their training right now, which is the Mexican Marine Naval Force. I'm looking for the name of it right now. The Mexican Navy's Infanteria de Marina. I apologize to anyone who speaks Spanish for the butchering of that name. The Americans will come fully armed as part of a mission to train the Mexican Navy's Infanteria de Marina, Marine Infantry, on conventional and non-conventional types of combat. The training takes place from February 17th through March 30th at the Luis Caprizo Naval Facility in the state of Campeche. Again, to my Spanish-speaking friends, I apologize for butchering those names. The Americans are landing in a C-130 2 days prior to the start of training. The commission unanimously approved the mission without discussion or dissent on Tuesday. The vote came at the request of President Claudia Sheinbaum. And she will be very relevant in this story as well. Because as we scroll through the story about the MQ-9 drones, these are CIA drones. CNN first reported the CIA MQ-9 flights over Mexico earlier today. The exact size of the agency's Reaper fleet and how those drones may be configured compared to ones in service elsewhere, including with the United States Air Force, United States Customs and Border Patrol, is unknown. Current generation Reapers can stay aloft for more than a day at a time depending on their configuration and loadout. MQ-9s can carry an array of precision-guided bombs and missiles, as well as a wide variety of sensors internally and in underwing pods, along with other stores. There is also considerable evidence that very close working relationship when it comes to drone operations between CIA and the U.S. Military Secretive Joint Special Operations Command, JSOC, as well as Air Force Special Operations Command. So if you don't think that these will be working hand in hand with these and these, you don't know what's coming. Again, the ramping up of operations is clear. And I fully expect, as I said in my video yesterday, please check it out. I fully expect U.S. personnel to be involved in these raids. U.S. personnel are always involved in these raids. From the raids of Pablo Escobar down in Colombia, in Afghanistan. Historically, advisors have always gone in Vietnam. In numerous other military conflicts, U.S. advisors have taken part in the actual raids, in actual kinetic combat. I fully expect that to be the case here as well. Covertly, yes, but I fully expect that. I wanted to bring this image up. This is from the story, of course, and it will be linked. This is from the Warzone article. A side-by-side example of a traditional image captured by an aerial platform and one of the same spot taken using a multispectral camera showing chemical plumes not visible to the naked eye. And that's pretty crazy. So they're obviously able to see certain things using the sensors on these MQ-9s that we can't see with the naked eye. Perhaps the exhaust emissions from a fentanyl plant or something like that. I don't know how the stuff is made, but clearly they do. This is a view from the Vader sensor system, which is explained right here. Northrop Grumman's Vehicle and Dismounted Exploitation Radar, Vader, which is flown on CBP Predators and certain U.S. military aircraft, is just one particularly prime example of relevant known available sensor capabilities. And it's clear the United States is bringing everything to the table. Everything. A U.S. Navy P-8 Poseidon and Air Force RC-135V Rivet Joint aircraft have been tracked conducting these flights, as TWZ has previously reported, as we reported here on this channel as well, using the Warzone article. A separate past report from CNN says that U-2S Dragon Lady spy planes have been utilized as well. I looked a little bit into that and I couldn't find anything of current flights, but flights in 2021 were confirmed to have taken place. And this is Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum. She was asked today about the drones reported by CNN. This is her comment. It's a little part of this campaign, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum said today in response to questions about the reported CIA drone flights, but did not elaborate. So, what we can deduce using the evidence at hand is, 1, the Mexican government is cooperating completely and fully with the goals of the United States when it comes to the elimination of the fentanyl crisis. 2, they are willing to utilize assets offered by the United States that would not typically be used by the United States in Mexico, who has traditionally been very wary of allowing any U.S. military presence of any kind, personnel, or anything onto their soil. Ever since the War of 1848, where the United States invaded Mexico, and for the Pancha Villa raids in the southern United States, which caused the 1914 Army expedition into Mexico, led by General Pershing, the leader of the American Expeditionary Force in World War II. In World War I, I apologize. In World War I. Also on that expedition was George S. Patton. He wrote a book about it. It's very cool. But what we can see here is that the U.S. military is working hand in hand with the Mexican law enforcement and Mexican military to get the upper hand on these cartels. That kinetic action is very likely to occur. This action will very likely involve United States Special Operations Forces. Perhaps not these forces, but this will expand. This will expand. Mark my words. And that expansion will involve American trainers and advisors involved in these kinetic actions, just as they were in Vietnam, just as they were with Pablo Escobar. This is only going to get bigger. This is only going to get tougher. And as I said on my video yesterday, and I'm going to keep saying this, I fully expect kinetic response actions on the soil of the United States by cartels. What that response will be, I don't know. What form it will take, I couldn't say. What our response will be, will be severe. We are entering a very dangerous moment. As things clear up across the globe, as the conflict in Ukraine comes to an end, as hopefully the Mideast starts to simmer down, we can see that in our very backyard. Brush fires are burning. It's not just here. It's all throughout Central America. As this channel has been talking about, the new Trump-Monroe Doctrine is taking shape. It will take years to take shape. Mexico is probably the biggest part of that new doctrine. And as you can see, we are expending the assets that definitely say this is our primary issue. I appreciate you coming in here. I wanted to bring this to your attention. It's getting some news that deserves a hell of a lot more. We are flying aircraft now over Mexico that are fully capable of being armed with munitions that can strike Mexican soil. Fortunately, we are doing this with the permission of the Mexican government. How things evolve from here is going to be an ongoing story that I promise to keep you updated on the best that I can, because this is going to be around for probably the next 10 years. Get used to it. I'm going to. And hopefully I'm here to talk about it for as long as I can, until there is nothing to talk about. And when that day comes, I'll be just as appreciative as I am right now for you coming in here and listening. And I thank you. And if you liked it, please hit the like and subscribe and share the channel. Let people know. And I'll catch you next time. Thank you.